An often very useful, but also often overlooked portion of a scientific article is the supplementary material or supplementary information. Sometimes this is abbreviated SM or SI. In addition to the really nerdy details, such as detailed experimental methods that might only be of interest to people in the field or people trying to recreate the experiments, there are also often things like a working model graphic showing the author's conclusions basically in a graphical form, a model that they're proposing based on their data. And that can be super duper helpful for people that might be, say, struggling with getting through the article itself. So it's kind of ironic that then these get pushed into the supplementary materials, which then people don't even realize exist. If you look at the table of contents kind of thing for an article, they'll often at the bottom, it'll be supplementary material, supplementary information, supplementary info, supporting information, all these various things that are going to tell you that that is additional information. And this might be PDF files, it might be video files, especially for structural. You might have like animations, you might have the raw data, spreadsheets, things like this. And so all of that is typically going to be at the end of the article in the supplementary information section. If you just download the PDF, you're typically not going to get that information. You will need to go to the online version and download it separately. So even if you use a browser extension like Zotero, you can download it and then just drag it into the entry in your Zotero, and then you'll have the supplementary material alongside the original article. So it's always a great idea to look through that supplementary information. Unfortunately, to actually look through the supplemental, you typically have to download it, but then if you decide it's not something that you actually want, then just go and delete it. In addition to expanded methods, sometimes like even just the basic methods these days are getting pushed into the supplemental. You might also find expanded discussion. Sometimes there are things where if a reviewer wants more information on something and they have some questions, the authors might do some sort of response, have an expanded discussion that's outside the scope of the traditional article, and so then they might put it in the supplemental. You can also have those graphical abstracts, those kind of working model images, additional experiments that didn't make it into the main paper but support the main paper, and so they might be mentioned in the main paper. The results might be mentioned in the main paper, but the actual graphs and things that go along with them are in the supplemental. So say if they had tried 10 samples of 10 different compounds, but then they only show you the top 2, then the rest of them might be in the supplemental. You might find the uncropped pictures of things like Western blots or SDS page. So lots of really great data and lots of great information that can be found in the supplemental. And often sometimes too, the supplemental is freely accessible even if the article is paywalled. So